down to extortion. You in a room well above your portion. Must have been the bubble that's causing distortion. But with that out of the way, let's keep it a buck. You in a room with some monsters and fresh out of luck. It's bubblegum and knuckle sandwiches. Guessing we out of what? Exactly. These fists are on full at any position. Put the hammer to your head, cause these arms ain't for wishing. Hands up like you praying to the Lord. Why try to cash a check you can't possibly afford? You think cause it's candy cool, we won't brand you, dude. Trademark your eyes.
Hey guys, welcome to the lab. We're back with another exciting episode of Sundaze with the Clink Room. Today we're joined by my second favorite Serbian behind Jokic, Milos. Milos, how you doing?
Well, man, I'm a bit offended by that, but I'm kidding. So well, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you having me again. It's always an honor to be here and to discuss interesting subjects with you.
Yes. So we're going to jump right into it. Clink had themselves a wonderful week. So they started off their week off with a Deadstock drop. So for those who don't know, the Deadstock is usually leftovers from the pre-order. Getting a phone call, but these will ship right away, so you don't have to worry about waiting for the pre-order period to end. So let's do this. They only had 8 this week, so Let Him Cook, Flanagan, Patriot, Tsukunami Breeze, which is like a prequel, Gothic Guardian by Heather. What are your initial thoughts on these 4 offerings?
These I can't see very well because like the screen is small and I'm trying to like make it full screen, but yeah, I kind of remember these exactly as they were, so yeah, I can still like give it a thought. Basically, Let It Cook. You can't say it without saying like let him cook.
Yeah.
It has the
meme,
like the meme, the vibe, the culture behind it, so it's already cool. And yeah, I like the colorway. Was it Patriot, right?
Yeah, Patriot. Yeah.
Can't see the names from here, so you'll have to give me a help on that one.
No problem.
But yeah, I mean, classical American Eagle. Jason, was it Jason V, right?
Yeah, Jason V and DD.
Yeah. He's amazing, man. Amazing artist. I followed him like since before I even heard about Clink Room, so I really appreciate his art, man. And only have like the best things to say about it. And it speaks for itself, like the pose, the flag, the stars, and everything. It's just super cool to wear.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, was it Sakuranami, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I remembered like the first version, and then who was Aurelian collaborating?
Gemini.
Yeah, so Gemini posted like this version, like one of the versions from the beginning, and he said like, why throw it away? And I completely agree. I mean,
yeah,
it looks awesome. It's like a sequel, but also looks cool, and I really appreciate them putting it there. They didn't let it rot somewhere where nobody can see it. Now everyone can appreciate it and wear it. So it's very cool. I like those colors, sakura, Japanese, like a cherry blossom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I love those. I love Japanese culture in general. Big fan. And the last one was his Gargoyle, right?
Yeah, by Heather. Yeah.
Heather, yeah. It was cool from the moment I saw it. I knew it's gonna go in. I mean, it reminds me of like those old Batman cartoons. I don't know if you watch those, but like it's a big part of my childhood. So
yeah.
I can imagine Batman like standing behind it, like on the building.
Yeah. He's kind of got the Batman pose. There was also a cartoon called Gargoyles, which was based on a lot of these kind of like statues coming to life. Back in the 90s, one of my favorite shows growing up. But yeah, a great set here. Same like you with the Let Him Cook. I hear that, like, that kind of that meme or that clip. Patriot, a really interesting design choice not to include the stars on the flag. I understand why, because 50 stars on a flag that small, would be hard to kind of show, but then he included the stars as that arch to kind of complete that shape. Like a really good design choice there from Jason V. And then Sukunanami Breeze, you would have thought someone like me would have learned from my past mistakes. We saw the original Sukunanami and I didn't grab it. And then when it came out, I was like, damn, I need that hat. So then when this hat came out, I didn't pre-order it again. And then I had to wait till other people grabbed it to like, man, why did I miss this hat? Like, this is so good. The way that they've layered the textures and the wind and the embroidery on it, super thick on the outside. The trees got textures, and yeah, what a great hat. I can see them bringing back this design in multiple colorways, and like you said with the Gothic Guardian, it brings back old childhood memories, kind of those gargoyle cartoons. It was really cool that she tried to put like different textures in it with like the almost like the moss growing on it. So yeah, solid hat. Let's move on to the next 4. Tiger Squad, Pirates Gambit, Kiss of Death, and Love is Blind. What are your thoughts on these?
Well, I always appreciate like military type of hats, and I noticed that people also like these. I remember, I think it was like the best-selling one from that batch, if I remember correctly. And I mean, you can't go wrong with these, like military vibe, green, black. It has a lot of audience, a lot of people who would appreciate it, who would wear it, and you can't miss with that. And it's really cool hat. For the Pirate Gambit, it's like a spade shape, right?
Yeah.
So it was surprising to me that he combined like the cards and the pirate. I didn't made that connection. Like what do they have in common? But it's cool. He rendered it well, so it looks cool. And for many people, that's enough.
Yeah.
Not many people are looking for like a deep story behind it, which is also fine if the design looks cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a similar story with tattoos as well. Like some people just like tattoo themselves because it looks cool. Others appreciate story, but everyone's different. Everyone has a different taste. So
exactly,
piece of that, straightforward. Like you can see the design and figure out what it's about immediately, which is dope. I appreciate it. The way the skull is drawn and shaped and embroidered. I mean, very, very, very nice. I love that rose as well. I mean, I can't see it from here that well, so I wanted to ask you. I'm gonna tune in from my PC to see if I'll see on like the big screen. Hold on. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah, we're good.
Does it echo?
Nope.
Okay, awesome. So now I can see it on the big screen.
Perfect.
Oh man, so much easier.
Yeah.
Okay, Kiss of Death. Yeah, I can now see even the names and all. So yeah, the rose, the skull, everything looks awesome. Love is Blind. Adam has awesome concepts. I mean, is it Braille, right? That's the name of the
at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, awesome design. It's like a no-brainer for many people, especially people who love dogs, who even have dogs that have like sight issues with their eyes. I mean, I saw many cats with one eye and dogs as well.
Yeah.
So I think there was a story, right? There was the design was actually inspired by a certain dog, right? Not sure if that's correct.
In this case, it goes both ways. So I believe Heather adopted a dog that was blind, but Adam actually trains dogs to help people who are blind for service animals.
I'll talk about perfect mix.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So it's a story that goes both ways. But the dog itself, I believe, is based off of Heather's actual dog. But like the concept and how she worked together with Adam and how he actually does that in real life, it's a cool story. That's definitely one that I picked up
Awesome.
Great hat.
Yeah, great story. Love that.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, always appreciate the good story behind the good design. It's just like makes the perfect.
Exactly. Good
cohesive
pairing,
thing.
good concept. Yeah, and it's definitely like it's even more than a +1. It's like a +100. So
Yeah,
definitely a must buy in my book. I'm with you too. The Tiger Squad, when Ink Park does these kind of like realistic caricatures of like military things, boats, planes, fighter jets, bombs, stuff like that. You know, he always does well. Color play really good. He's got this like rifle green and black with the gray under, and then that orange really accents the hat. You know, as a pop color. Uh, John with his kind of drawings of the sides of planes is always cool too.
Mhm.
Pirates Gambit. I remember when Wynn released this one, he kind of followed up with a couple concepts that were similar in like the piratey death theme. This was, I believe, the only one that made it. Pretty cool concept with the birds and forming the spade. Kiss of Death. I was really worried about the embroidery. Um, how it would come out, would it catch all the details? And they did a great job. Even the teeth look great. The texture of the bones, it looks like they got like um, the textures of the brow ridge and then the divots in the eyes. I think they did a really good job on
Yeah, as always,
yeah. And then
I saw some stories. Sorry, I interrupted you. I
no,
mean,
no problem. No
we were
problem.
talking about embroidery, and I saw some recent stories about Fallen Titan. I know it has nothing to do with these now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm like
No problem. No problem.
busting in, but like embroidery is super awesome there because Casey made it look like there was a cave, like it's a depth. Like cave is
Yeah.
most shallow, and then like the stones come out, and it looks super awesome.
Yeah.
Like the embroidery is always going to look great.
Yeah. Always. So yeah, like that's a good 8-pack, I would say. For me, I grabbed Sukin and Army Breeze just real quick so we can just kind of go through the textures of the hat.
Yeah,
Just so
look
you
at
can
that.
see the
Man.
depth of the embroidery. And then even the parts that are like back here that is like solid colors, they did break it up and kind of layered it. And then the
Yeah,
tree itself is just so cool.
yeah, look awesome, man. Look at the like the tree, like the bark is
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
lower than the how
And
you
then
say
the
the tree
leaves.
itself. Leaves, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the leaves are crazy. Colorway is super cool and rad. I mean, the gray and the black. I always think of with the pink as like a Japanese theme now. But Hat Club kind of made that famous, and you know they kind of use that. So no side patches for the side patch haters. Obviously, pink bottom, pink back, solid hat. I mean, I just felt like it was deja vu. First Sukin and Army. I didn't pre-order. I had to wait to grab it on the Deadstock. For some reason, I was like, oh, this one's not as good as the first one, so I didn't pre-order it. And when other people started posting, I was like, yo, I need this hat. So this was my definite Deadstock grab. I also grabbed Love is Blind as well, but I could not find where I put it. It's in a box somewhere. But yeah, that one's definitely worth sharing too. So I'll definitely post both of the Deadstock pickups on my socials. And then we had ourselves the last call. So these next 6 designs we'll be covering. Their pre-order ends tonight at midnight Eastern. So you have a couple hours to decide if you want to save some money and pre-order these hats. So we will start off with Backyard Hangout, Clinker Ryan Simmons, Blessed by IMAP Studios, and then Beach Bummin' by Win Studio. What are your thoughts here?
Well, it was crazy to me that like a plastic chair could be like a bestseller from the group, but it's so much more than that. It's like a story behind it, which brought people together to actually buy this. So, I mean, Ryan has awesome texturing skills and like a story telling behind his designs. Like he likes to do those scenery designs as well, and this is kind of scenery design, but there's like a main character there, and it's a plastic chair, which is also dope and cool. And it's cool how he took that simple concept and actually complex concept and put it in like a simple design that looks cool, that has depth and has like a whole story behind it, because everybody understands what's going on in that design. You don't need anybody sitting there. It's just enough, to show this like a cup or drink cup, and the atmosphere behind, like the wall, the sky. It's awesome, and like the storytelling, it's on another level, and I always appreciate that. I'm not the biggest fan of just posting something just because it's cool. Sometimes I do that just because I have no better thing to come up with for the story, so I'm just like, yeah, I like how this looks, let's see if it's gonna go through. But mostly when I did that, it kind of didn't go through. So yeah, so like the good story carries the design. And I think if it's kind of not going well in the votes, Casey might still take it because he sees the potential in
exactly.
the story and the design. Blast, it's cool to see like the religious part with like the hat, like very interesting, very like Mexico, it's Catholic country, right? And cool to see like the one culture mixed with other. So yeah, I think the moment I saw this, I was first surprised that it didn't get that it didn't make through the first part of the voting, but then it showed up like 2 weeks later, and I wasn't surprised because people relate to it. So it's important to find an audience that relates with design. And the beach bombing, kind of, it's summerish design, like the summer is around the corner. I understand why would people want to wear this. It's skull. It's like skeleton chilling, palm trees and all. So yeah, like a cool, chill summer design.
Yeah, it's, yeah, it's interesting. Like two of these ones are like summer designs. So they're cool pieces. Definitely, it's definitely capturing that summer vibe. Where right now, just entering spring, so I can't wait to get rid of this winter, man. The blessed one is an interesting piece. I'm kind of glad they didn't do like the full body of the Our Lady of Guadalupe. I kind of wish she had the hand, like the hat kind of in the middle of her hands like this instead of on her head, but small changes here and there. It's still selling really well, so what do I know.
Yeah, I mean, if I may, I think it would maybe look weird on design. I don't know if it would read well.
Fair enough.
Maybe it would just be floating there, and it would look weird. Maybe the IMAP Studios, maybe he tried that, but realized it doesn't look good, doesn't read well. So just put it on the head.
Yeah. The only reason I say that is because usually you'll see like the prayer hands with like a rosary or anything like that. I don't know if it's like sacrilege to wear a hat in. I'm not even religious, so I'm not even sticking up for the Catholics. I don't even know. But like I don't even know if it's like rude to wear hats in the church or whatever. So that's all I'm saying. But it is still a cool piece of selling well, yeah, good first three. The next three are Octohelm by Gabe, Revealed by Raphael, and The Hunt by Flanagan. What are your thoughts here? A lot of blue in these ones.
Yeah. Well, blue is kind of dominant color lately. I have like that kind of feeling. But I mean, if I have to choose the color other than black to be like my base color, I would go with blue usually. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I understand for Octohelm, it's like a marine design, like water, ocean, octopus. So yeah, I like that red in the middle. I would just like screw the wheel a little bit so it doesn't look like a cross.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, octopuses are cool, man. So they're drawn well. People would like that. Raphael, I mean, he's one of my favorite clinkers. I love his style. I love the way he draws, the way he renders those designs, and I think it's sometimes he's not appreciated enough. Like the things he brings to the table, they're just awesome, and I always like it. Even some basic concepts that are not like rich in the story, but he still brings the design in a well-rounded way that looks cool. So yeah, this I like this like a retro vibe,
Yeah.
like right? Those old
Yeah.
posters, like, where it's like the human's face just like ripped in half, and there's an alien. It's awesome, man. I'm surprised that this is not doing better in the shop, honestly. And the hunt, I think it had like the best votes at the time, but the way you show me like the order of these designs shows me that it's not doing that well. I'm not sure. Like, I didn't check the shop in a while. So yeah, I mean Flanagan, man, he's cool. He always has interesting designs. I think this one was inspired by his other design, the buffalo,
The
right?
buffalo,
Was
yeah.
also going through the snow.
Hmm.
So this is kind of probably like a sequel. But yeah, he always also thinks about stories behind his designs. So yeah, and he has that unique style of his, which I sometimes I like, sometimes I don't. But he always gives his best, and that's always appreciated.
Yeah, he's one of the most active submitters too. He'll submit
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah, it takes a lot of work.
Yeah, Octohelm. It's like a theme and a trope that gets used a lot. You know, like this the sea octopus stuff. So it is cool to see another version of it. He's got it colored really similar to the newest NHL hockey team, the Seattle Kraken. So he's kind of taken from that like navy mint and that reddish color, which is pretty cool.
Mhm.
Revealed by Raphael. That we haven't seen this, like you mentioned it a little earlier, like this kind of classic retro vibe. I think that kind of style was kind of perfected by like Austin. We haven't seen one like that since it's for a
Yeah,
little bit, like
yeah. Five Mind is
artificial.
one of my favorite
Yeah,
designs.
hive mind, artificial intelligence, even kind of vandals is kind of done in that kind of old comic style too. So it's really cool to see that kind of back and done in a different way. And yeah, the
Mhm.
hunt. So if you picked up his original version with the bison, you know, these kind of, I don't know if he purposely made them to work together or not. Um, I do remember they got rid of the eyes in the background. That was a kind of like a cool kind of hidden feature of this version, just to kind of imply that there's like more than one wolf,
Oh,
you
like a
know.
back.
Yeah. So he had a so you see that kind of yellow color of the wolf's eyes. He kind of had it in the background multiple times.
Mhm.
So it was kind of like a bunch of them going for the hunt. So that's kind of cool.
Oh,
That's
well, I understand then the difference between voting and like the final design in the shop. Sometimes people just like the first version more, and then after
yeah,
it's changed, they just give up and don't
yeah,
buy it.
yeah. Because I feel like the original one was a little darker too,
Yeah,
more
it's
of like a
probably
night.
like a dark crown, and it was probably like Wolfpack in the darkness behind.
Yeah,
I
um,
kind of appreciate that story a bit more, but this one also looks cool.
yeah,
But yeah, I know what was Pat going with on the first version. So
yeah, exactly. So hopefully, picks up a little bit. So for anyone who wants to pick these up, last call to pick up these before you have to pay a slightly bit more for the Deadstock drop. So now we have the return of the shock drop. We haven't seen a shock drop in a couple months, I feel like. So Dr. Clink, Mr. Kong is back. Clink Classics side patch, one of my favorite side patches, and one of my favorite designs from Clinker Leaf. What do you remember
yeah,
about this design, and do you like the recoloring?
I remember it was the purple and green, right?
Yeah, like a purple and funky green. Yeah,
I love this, man. I love like the grayscale and one color. It's like the basic principle that I was taught on my college. I finished architecture,
yeah,
and I had like a graphic design there, and the professor was very knowledgeable about these kind of stuff, like the color theories and everything. And he insisted on grayscale and one color. Um, I mean, it looks so cool. I think this is gonna sell so well, man. This is awesome. You can't go wrong with these colors, man. And the design is already awesome. So
Yeah.
like the Hyde part, like is it Dr. Hyde? Right?
Yeah.
The Hyde is monster, right?
Let me look it up so we don't get it wrong.
So I don't mess it up. So the monster part that is red, it
Oh,
kind of reminds me of those like Chinese tigers or Japanese tigers.
yeah.
Not sure if you see it.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah,
So I was right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of those like Asian lions, that style, but it still looks awesome. It's great design, man.
Yeah, almost like a demon or even like a crazy mask of some sort. But yeah, using that color
like
red
like
really
came
pops.
out from the movie. Yeah.
So I have it in hand actually. So
let's see.
Excellent rendition, I think. The good thing about this too, when they recolor stuff that's completely different than the original, it gives you like number one, like if you got the original, it makes you want to get this one because it kind of becomes like a series that you collect. But also it's so different that like, maybe you didn't like the green on the first one or whatever, or you didn't like the purple or whatever. So it's good to have options. But look at the embroidery on this hat. So
look at that, man.
Yeah. And then, like you can almost have like two hats too. Like he did such a good job, kind of like if if you were to double that, that would be a hat. If you were to double that'd be a cool hat too. So just a really cool.
What's
cool logo.
what else is so cool? Like those are probably like silver threads. It kind of makes it look like it's a gradient going from black to gray. So it gives like additional dimension, and I love that.
Yeah, so they did use bits of metallic. So the outline is like metallic silver, and then his spectacle thing here is silver as well.
So, yeah, awesome.
Cool.
I mean, embroidery is always top notch. No question about it.
Yeah, I'm really happy with this one. They did a great job. Great job, Clink Relief, and great job, Casey and team, with this recolor of this hat. Yeah. All right. So now moving forward,
I might gonna steal those colorways for the new design. Don't be mad at me, but it looks so good.
Yeah, like just kind of having that kind of that flat gray with the silver just as an accent, and then that red as a pop color. Man, this is a solid hat, and great to see them back. Again with shock drops. It's always cool to see like really good hats just reimagined in different colors. Great job. All right, moving forward, these next 20 hats will be up for voting tomorrow in Clink Room Story. So if you see a design that you want to see hit the shop, make sure you guys vote to get it in. So number one, Pinball Wizard. Last week, Casey proclaimed it to be arcade week. So you're going to see a couple arcade/game designs. First one up, Pinball Wizard by Soundwave Threads. What are your thoughts here?
First disclaimer before I say anything, I want to tell everybody that I'm here to talk about designs. If I say something that I don't like, please don't hold grudge against me. It's nothing personal. People talk about my designs as well, and sometimes it's not pleasant to hear some stuff, but it's fine. It's like design. You put it out there for people to comment on it. And I hope nobody will get insulted or angry at me if I say something they don't like. So I like every designer. We are fellow colleagues. We work on this together. Our minds are working in a unique way. So you have to appreciate those kind of people. And I appreciate you all, guys. But this design sucks. I'm kidding.
It's also our first look at it. I put together the slides. But to be honest, I try not to look and try not to think when I'm putting together slides. I try to have this be my first reaction. I don't really like researching all of this stuff, so I can kind of just give you my first kind of reaction to it. Because to be honest, when they're up for voting, a lot of times people don't have the context or don't have the story or don't have the vote. They're
Yeah.
purely basing on emotion and aesthetic and what they like, don't like, whatever. So, yeah, feel free to correct me in the comments. You know, if we don't have the story completely straight, I do try to look it up while we do criticize and critique. But yeah, this is also our first shot at it, so don't kill us. But
I completely
yeah.
agree with everything you said there, man. And it's like the way people are voting. It's just like the moment you see it, you're either gonna click yes or no. And
Exactly.
I don't know if they even take into consideration like the different colorway, but you know, if you want people to vote for yes, you need to like grab them immediately to make the story clear from the
Exactly.
start.
Exactly.
So yeah, I figured out that designs with these baseball poses usually do well.
Yep.
So I expect this one to do well tomorrow on the voting. And I don't know if Soundwave had design in so far, but I saw his like progress, and he's doing a great job. He gets better with each design, so this one is no exception. Like it's obvious. So we were talking about the story, and the moment you see the design, it's obvious what's going around here. It's like those pinball, the pinball thing. He's hitting the
Yeah, like that little
well,
paddle.
yeah.
Yeah, thing. Yeah.
Thank you for
That's such a good like such a good concept he used there.
yeah. I skipped this theme. I just kind of didn't feel it. I did some research, tried some sketches, but it's just I didn't feel it. So like every designer who tackled this theme, good job, guys. So because I didn't, it's not mandatory, right?
No, they're not
Yeah,
mandatory. It's just meant
yeah.
to help the creative juices a little bit.
Well, that's actually very helpful. Yes, and I just didn't feel it, but when I see these kind of designs now, I'm like, damn, I should think of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, great job. I like this one.
Yeah, I think he
Maybe
nailed.
colors would be different, like the skin colors, maybe too yellow, and it's like the same as his boots. I would maybe change that, but
Yeah.
what do you think?
Yeah, the skin color's tough because he kind of used white as a highlight color in the beard. And he used white as the highlight color of the paddle thing there. So it's really limiting sometimes, trying to get stuff. I don't think like the general public understands, like trying to limit like one design to like 6 colors is really hard sometimes.
I actually talked to Casey about it, and he said 7 colors is the limit. So
Oh, okay. So 7.
yeah, go
All right.
crazy.
Go crazy. You got one more color now. But yeah, I think he nailed the concept. Sports logos, I feel like don't get enough play in the Clink Room. So, the more baseball stuff we get, the better. Baseball wise, though, if the ball's not close to you and you haven't started your swing, you're gonna be late on the thing on the swing. But no big deal.
You're already missing it.
Yeah, you're way too late. You're way too late. But I mean, like if they were to do it like realistic, the pinball
Yeah.
would have to be back here. So I understand.
I
I
mean,
don't know if I love the stars around it. Maybe a little bit too many, I would say.
yeah. Maybe I would ditch them completely.
Yeah, like even the one at the top, right? So just having
Yeah.
the one star at the head and then having it go above your design will make you shrink the design just that little bit.
Yeah.
Just
Makes it
removing the stars.
taller. Yeah.
Yeah.
Taller for no reason. Yeah, you're right. And maybe the stroke around it, all that red. I know it's like culture to do it. I mean, maybe culture is not a good word, but it's usually done so the design can fit well on the darker background. So if he just used like a red crown instead and ditched the whole stars and the red stroke around it, maybe the design could be bigger. Maybe the far leg could be like more stretched out because he kind of looks like he's how do you say that when you
Like crouched,
um
really crouched.
crouched? Yes,
Yeah.
that's the word. So it kind of looks crouched, but I understand he had to fit it in the area. I mean, yeah, he had some space to work around that, but in general, I think he did good job with like the spacing.
Yeah. All right. Continuing on, we have another one from Soundwave. Another one in the same kind of theme. So last play. This one's a little bit more like thematic. You got the little coin for the arcade. with the Clink Room logo. What are your thoughts here?
Well, not sure I would read this immediately like an arcade theme. If I didn't know it's arcade theme week, I wouldn't connect it with that. I would just be like, okay, that's a coin, right?
Yeah.
Another money themed design. So I think maybe it's missing some other elements that would make it obvious it's about, arcade. But yeah, I mean, not sure about that black. It's kind of like a dark gray, probably a graffiti color of the coin. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, it's like a really dark, like a graphite, like you said.
Yeah,
Like pewter, like a dark pewter almost.
yeah. I would just double down on the coin, make it look cool, make it look like the texture awesome. Everything else would be smaller, and try to focus on that. Maybe
Yeah.
probably try to add another element, arcade element, but it's difficult to think about it on the spot now. It needs some thinking. But yeah, I would definitely focus on the coin mostly.
Yeah, it's hard, right? Because the canvas of the hat, you're really going like 2.5 by 6, but like this one is kind of like in the middle. Like just having it all, like just having this kind of pattern all the way, I don't think would look good aesthetically. So I understand why he made that choice. I don't know if we need all of the background, but it is like cool that there's like neon kind of high res kind of colors.
Yeah, maybe
I don't
if
know
he
what
could have
else.
done some neon sign or something instead.
Yeah. yeah. Or maybe make the coin spinning somehow.
I mean,
Or,
that
or
would be
flipping in the
difficult to
air.
pull off,
Yeah, it would definitely be difficult to pull off.
especially if it's embroidered. I don't know if that would look obvious what's going on.
Yeah.
Because you would probably, I mean, in my head, you would probably make the one coin like full colors and everything, and other coins that are like after image of that coin, probably in like faded colors or something to make that illusion of spinning.
Right.
But not sure if how would that look, but it probably could be cool to try.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm sorry if I'm looking. I'm seeing myself on the screen, and I'm kind of looking away.
No,
Now I'm looking at
you're
the
looking at
camera. Yeah, I'm
looking
sorry
at your-
because the screen is behind me. For somebody
problem.
who didn't see from the start, so the screen is behind me, so I can see everything well, and the phone is here, so that's why I'm looking up there. And Leon, I promise, I'm looking at you.
No,
I'm looking you straight in the eye.
I don't even think about it, man. I have one screen here, but the camera's here. So yeah, I've seen.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move forward. Beer League by Win Studio. So, don't know if you're too hip to North American sport culture. This is like a beer league is like something you refer to like an adult baseball league that you can drink beers at. So like whatever less than amateur is, recreational league, I guess.
Well, hold on, like the players are drinking beer or everyone else?
Yeah, so like there are beer league, like actual beer leagues where they set up like beers at every base. So like if you play baseball, you get a hit, you go to first base, you chug a beer, whatever. But most people don't play like that. They just call their league that they join, like weekend league or whatever, a beer league, like just to like let people know, like, yeah, it's not professional, it's not whatever. Yeah,
I understand. I mean, I was about to ask, what's the difference from like a regular baseball?
yeah,
People drink beer in the stand, right? Probably not in the crib, right? That's the way this giant glass is called, crib.
The glass will be like a mug, I guess.
Mug, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we have like a separate name for it here, so let me quickly find out. I'm sorry, I'm curious now.
No problem.
Yeah, mug, definitely.
Mug.
Okay. So yeah, he's been exploiting these kind of designs for a while now, like a scenery inside of something. It's been going well for him, so I'm not surprised he's keep doing it. Not the biggest fan of the foam. Kind of looks weird, and in general, I think he does like liquid and like everything liquish. He kind of does it in a weird way. I don't like it personally. Again, nothing personal. I'm just saying, talking about design. For example, his design Elemental, I think it's called, where it was the tree and like the water, and so yeah, that water kind of looked like a goo, looked too, how would you say it? Too thick. It doesn't feel like water, and like with those things behind it, kind of, I had a feeling it's like a swamp. So I kind of get I misunderstand sometimes what he's trying to do, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that foam. But in general, like the whole scene inside the mug is done very well. Like the way it's like a wiggly, like it's inside the liquid.
Yeah.
I think he did a great job on that one. And yeah, basically, not sure. Like, are those like a mountains behind, like a tree, like a
It's almost
sunset?
like a landscape kind of
So
area.
does it have something to do with the beer league, or?
No. I just think it's part of the scene.
Oh,
It's part of the scene. Like, I mean, like a baseball field could be anywhere, right? That is like a very scenic, like well put together field. Yeah.
You can rarely go wrong with the like mountains and trees and those organic shapes. It always looks cool, like a sunset and all. So
Yeah.
that looks cool. I just don't like the foam, like the way he renders like a liquid. Not the biggest fan, but he's doing well. So guess other people don't mind.
It's definitely like a cool and interesting take on like the landscape, like getting a landscape in a different kind of object, you know. I just would make it more casual. So like the field he has it on is like a super almost competitive field. Like that's like a really good baseball field. Most beer leagues wouldn't occur on that. It's just like a regular park or anything like that. So that'd just be my one thing. I would just kind of tone down the field a little bit. This looks like a really good field. So that's all. It's just, you know, small details. I'm with you. I don't love the foam, the texture of the foam.
Yeah, almost looks like a cloud or something. Like a whipped cream.
Or like a top of a pie or something. Yeah, like whipped cream. But yeah, it's a cool concept. The colors remind me of that polar bear he had with the mug.
Yeah, I remember.
That like kind of blue and Panama tan kind of colorway. But yeah, beer league. Get the summer off, summer vibey kind of thing, right? Number 4, Junker teamed up with Levi to do the Medusa. You did a Medusa as well, right? Couple lifetimes ago. So, what are your thoughts on this Medusa? I mean, obviously, Medusa's a common story. I mean, no one's.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. I didn't buy the design, so everyone else had. I'm gonna sue these guys. I'm kidding. Am I? Honestly, I remember when I was drawing the Medusa, it was called Seduction at the end.
Yep.
It was like a glow in the dark.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. I had really had trouble with making snakes look cool, and to give them like a little bit of depth, because if you draw it like this, it all looks like they're from the side. So I tried to like give a variety of poses. I of course did copy some, changed minimal things, but I still tried to make it look different to avoid like a repetition. But in some designs, but in some designs it works. In this style in particular, it kind of reminds me. Can't remember the name of the style of the design. But yeah, it kind of looks cool. It's kind of flat, but it still looks like it's in that kind of vibe in that style. So I don't mind it actually. And I just don't like the pink thing behind it. Not sure what's that. Probably like the stare she gives, like that turns you into stone or something. But I don't like how it works with the cyan, like the light blue. And those lines on the face, I would probably do differently. It's kind of, they're kind of too thin, and I always say like either go with thick lines, or remove them completely, like Seamus and Ryan do occasionally. If I look at this, it kind of looks like a drawing on a paper of the face. That's why I don't like the thin lines on the design, especially on the face. Face is always challenging to do to make it look right, and yeah, not the particular fan of those eyebrows either. I would just like to make a single line, but it's it's just like what throws me off. Like those thin lines are on the face, and then you see snakes. They have like a thicker line, and that's not balanced. Yeah, that kind of
the line weight is not equal.
Yeah. But other than that, I think this might actually do well in the voting.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you too with the face a little bit. You lose me a little bit on the face. I love the shape of the snakes kind of on the head, and each one's kind of going in a different direction, and there's textures to them, different colors. I don't know if I love how he breaks off each head of the snake. I almost would rather him not have that shape and then just add eyes.
Yeah.
And kind of just work it that way. They almost look like eels to me a little bit. But yeah, I'm with you. The this kind of like beetroot stripe reminds me of like David Bowie back in the day. He would like draw that, like, that thing on the face. But
yeah.
Yeah, because I just feel like that. Yeah, that kind of like this is kind of Vice Blues cyan color is not a good pop. It's a good pop color with like this pink or beetroot or whatever, but it's not a good pop color with the teal. So,
yeah, it could look cool, but yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to pull off sometimes. I mean, I like when designers try some other unusual colorways.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to experiment, and I often like put like 9 different colorways before choosing 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I often I see one experimental like with crazy colors like these, and I'm like, should I go with that? And then I remember like many people tried it before, and it usually doesn't go well.
Yeah.
So I just kind of go with the with things I think would do well. Often I'm not right, but
yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
and I agree with you on the snake heads. Like they don't need that separation, but I don't agree with the part where you said he should add eyes. I think it would just make it too busy for no reason. Maybe it would take too much details and take your eyes off the face itself. But then again, I would give more attention to face. Kind of looks like it's like a first sketch. Probably needs some more work.
So my thing too with this, you have like you work the tongue in, but you almost didn't work the fangs in. So either make some open mouth, closed mouth, open mouth, closed mouth, but like the ones that open mouth, give it that fang look to make sure you kind of hammer home the fact that they're snakes.
Yeah, I agree.
Rather than like worms or eels or something like that, But yeah, I mean, it's a cool pose. It's interesting. He went with like that kind of Versace logo.
Yeah.
Style.
I was like, it reminds me constantly of something. You're right.
Yeah, where the Medusa's calm as opposed to like a fierce Medusa. So it's a cool design choice there. But yeah, I would say the face almost feels unfinished a little bit, but it's a cool concept. I mean, the Medusa thing is going to work well, I think. But yeah, just a couple things here and there, and I think they're going to be right there. Good job, Levi and Junker. All right, moving forward, number 5, the Ohm Gnome. Seamus and Rusty Bees got together for this one. What are your thoughts?
Well, immediately, like the texture strikes. Again, Mike is awesome at texturing stuff. Like, look at his designs; they have so much depth. I love seeing whatever he comes up with, and this one is no different. Like, I'm just not familiar with Gnome. I mean, Gnome is like a what is this?
Like a garden.
Garden, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know what's on, so I would need a little bit of explaining.
Yeah, I think ohm is like it's like used as a symbol within I think Indian culture. I might be mistaken, but let me look it up. I know ohm is used as like an electrical thing, but okay, ohm represented by the Greek letter omega. No, that's not it. That is not it.
Yeah, I mean, I figured out it's maybe from the math, like the symbol for electricity or something. But
So ohm symbol represented is a sacred symbol and mantra in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism and Sikhism, symbolizing the primordial sound of the universe. Yeah, I know like people like it's like the om or whatever, but that one is
so
spelled
that's it.
om, not
Oh, I
with
got it.
OHM. So OHM
So it's
is
basically
more
like
of
a
like,
Zen
yeah,
thing, right?
like a yoga chant almost or something.
I mean, it's awesome, man. I mean, I often talk too much, maybe, and people are probably gonna be like, "Okay, move on." But really, nothing negative to say about this one. It's awesome. It's straight to the point. Makes sense. Uh, I'm just worried that people won't know exactly in the moment of voting what is it about. Just like we didn't know now, we had to Google it.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I would be like, maybe the reason why people wouldn't understand like the whole story behind it. But other than that, yeah, I mean the design explains it. Like it's a gnome and he's meditating and all, but yeah, I'm not sure about the name. The only reason because I couldn't recognize it immediately,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying if I don't know that nobody else would know,
Yeah.
but it's just I say from my perspective. But the design itself, it's awesome. The texture, the way he uses lines. See, this is the example where he doesn't use that much
Yeah.
lines, and when he uses them, they're not thin or weak. They're either like a thick, and they give like a shadow as well. So that's like the clever way he uses it, and I love that. I love his designs, his style, man. It's awesome, and the concept as well. Great job to Rusty Bees. It's just that I'm not familiar with it. Doesn't mean other people won't be. So yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, I lost my screen. Just one sec. So it's cool to kind of contrast. It's interesting that these ones both came up back to back, and we can kind of compare the faces a little bit. So yeah, like you said, I want to zero in on the face. So he's got like this kind of skin color, and then he uses the beard to kind of shape the face.
Yeah,
With the nose, there's nothing for the nose other than the different color difference between the white and that kind of skin color. So, and then he has that little bit for the lips. So it's not overdone, and yet you still see from far away what it is. Like that's such a good design choice. And you kind of compare it to the one we just saw, where this one has so many other colors, but not a lot of like texture and feeling to it almost. So it's kind of cool to see how he did it. Go ahead.
Exactly. I mean, I know we already talked about Medusa, but see how he didn't even use lines on his face except for like everything you said, like eyelashes and the beard, and he used color to make difference between the mustache and the nose. And maybe the Medusa can do the same with like the shadows, the lip shadows, and make the light source come from the side, and then make like a one side of the face in darker green and ditch the black lines completely. I think it would look better immediately.
Yeah, exactly. My only critique with this one is I feel like what he's wearing and the flower there's not enough contrast, so a lot of it gets kind of lost in it a little bit. I almost wish he was more of a central figure, and kind of like how they did the Dr. Clink Mr. Kong one, where like the central figure got pushed up by the color. I feel like the colors kind of hurt this this design a little bit. Maybe just fade out the lotus leaves or something, just to make him kind of be the central figure, and the lotus just kind of be the background, like silhouette or something like that. But I just wish you get a little bit more depth that way. But yeah, it's a cool piece. No Mistake would be a cool name for it too, just to ditch the part. Because like for us, like I know the symbol. I actually have a cross Buddha tattoo, so I know the symbol. But I couldn't. I don't know how to explain it. So the Omo.
No Mistake would be cool. Yeah. And what you said about the background, the flower, maybe he probably thought that embroidery would take care of that. Probably gnome in front.
Definitely.
So, I mean, I still understand your point. Just maybe,
even if it was a silhouette of a thing, rather having it filled in with the white, just having the silhouette of it would be cool too. Maybe make it tonal. Tonal to the blue, but yeah, just a cool piece, definitely. The Om Gnome, number 6, another one of the challenges. So this was challenge from 2 weeks ago, the armor challenge. So Armadillo by Lance.
I remember armor challenge. Interesting. Like the Lance, the name of the designer, and armor.
Yeah, Sir Lancelot. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This kind of reminds me of an AI art. I'm not accusing anyone, and maybe there are some people who are even using AI but hiding it very skillfully, so other people won't recognize it. But I saw many AI designs, and this kind of reminds me of it. But maybe I'm wrong, and I apologize in that case. But again, nothing personal, just talking about design. It's cool design. Kind of looks more like an illustration, too much details maybe. And the sword is a little bit crooked. But yeah, I mean, if I see well, like there are highlights on the tail, and then like a shade of shadow, and then like a darker shadow below. Not sure if I'm seeing that correctly, but that's too many colors for no reason.
Yeah, it's like 3 colors.
Yeah, I mean, not sure that would embroider well. But yeah, I mean, it looks cool, looks dope. Just my only concern is that it kind of feels AI-ish, and even if it's not, feels AI-ish to me. Probably other people would recognize it too. And there are some details like a highlight of the armor. If you see it behind his tie, like those little parts, I'm not sure if that would even embroider well. And like the end of the tail, also small parts. So yeah, I would definitely consider simplifying it a little bit. Simplifying it a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's a cool piece from far away.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah,
the silhouette is real nice. It's cool that he kind of did the what's it called, the challenge too. Is this a collab? Well, this is his own. That's interesting. So he's collabed in the past with Heather, I believe. They did that top dog design, the dog on top of like the airplane.
Don't remember that one. Let me see. I mean, I'll let you do the research, and I'll believe you.
Yeah. So,
meanwhile, I'll say another thing if you let me.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not like you forbid me all the time.
No.
I just like constantly interrupt you, and I'm sorry.
It's good. It's fine.
I mean, there's a little delay between like a stream, and I always, when I start talking, I hear myself interrupting you constantly. So I apologize.
It's cool.
Basically, what I appreciate about this design is like the shadow on the bottom. That's something I usually forget to implement. That's Casey corrected many of my designs in that way, just adding like a floor shadow where it's needed. And I always forget that for some reason, and it adds like a depth, and that's cool. In general, other than general looking cool, it's just too detailed for embroidery. I think if you go through, Casey would have to work on this one, like to simplify it a lot.
Yeah, I think like real simple design choices you could do to kind of simplify it. Instead of 4 fingers, you can do out of 3 fingers. I think that's generally like a thing that artists can do in these kind of caricature cartoon styles. I'm with you too. The sword is a little bit crooked. Not the end of the world. Maybe you could just make him stamping the sword on the ground. To kind of avoid that a little bit. The character's fun though. Armored armadillo, like that's like a layup almost for Armor Week.
Yeah.
I feel like you lose a little bit of his, because like an armadillo is more of like a rounded shape.
Yeah.
So I feel like you lose a little bit of it. Just making him totally erect. But then he does have like his cape almost infers that there is a bit of a hump there to it. I do like how they included the tail. Maybe just scale it down 15%, maybe a little bit of a big tail. But it's a fun piece. Definitely. So armadillo for Armor Week. Good job, Lance. Moving forward, we have the Arius, the Arius, kind of like a Caesar era Clink Room coin, which is pretty cool. This one was Junker again as well, teamed up again with Levi. What are your thoughts here?
So yeah, I immediately spotted it's like a Roman coin.
Yeah,
Roman Empire. Yeah, I liked the simplicity of it. I think Casey would do a great thing with embroidery, but I still think it kind of lacks a little bit more highlight and like the connection between design and the coin itself. Like I don't know how to explain. Like the highlights could be like also part of the design, because right now we have the orange behind the Kong, and it kind of loses the feeling of the coin.
yeah.
The only thing that it's telling me it's coin are colors and like the little yellow shape behind, yellow circle you can kind of see behind.
Yeah.
I believe that's like supposed to be like a 3-dimensional look of the coin, but yeah, I don't know why it's CR and 2020 in the coin.
So I'm assuming it stands for Clink Room, and then 2020 is when 2.0 kind of just started again.
Okay, makes sense then. But yeah, I mean, maybe I would add some sharper lines somewhere. It almost feels like the original design was a bit smaller, and then he expanded it a little bit, so lines turned out to be too close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Or he just like moved that yellow part. He copied the yellow part behind and pulled it down to
just shifted it.
Yeah, to reach the dimensional look, and it kind of brought everything a bit too close to each other. So I would just like space it out a bit more. But yeah, other than that, yeah, maybe add some more headlights. Not headlights, sorry, highlight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, maybe gave it a little bit more golden color.
Yeah. It's a really cool piece. Yeah, my issues with it is kind of same as you. Like the highlight color, like that yellow color, is so fine, so thin. I wonder how they would embroider that. It's almost too fine. So it would be cool to kind of see him achieve that like textured look without having the highlight. I'm not sure how he would do it, but there are a lot of like little fine, like even though it's like a really simple kind of silhouette kind of design, there are a lot of fine little details, like in the gap between the circle of the R to the bottom is like a really fine line. Even like the little notches on the twos, like it's not just a straight two. There's like a notch on the two there. I don't know if those are going to be translatable, being so small. So it is a cool concept. Not arguing with the colors. I mean, it's easy navy with a green under, and we have seen like kind of coin designs do well. But yeah, I think it's like 97% there. But yeah, good job.
Some work with spacing, and when I see it on the phone here on the smaller screen, it looks much more three-dimensional than on the big screen for some reason. Like it on the phone, it looks cool. It looks like it's actually popping out of the coin. But when I see it on the big screen, like close up, feels like those lines are too close to each other. And I just need fixing there and maybe sharper teeth, but those are details.
Yeah. All right. Moving forward, number 8, Speed Demon. Clifton is back. What are your thoughts here?
Well, I either love or hate his designs because he has this unique style of simplicity, and sometimes it works great. Sometimes I'm not the biggest fan, but in this case, it looks awesome. The way he used like red shade colors and black looks dope. I think it would embroider awesome, and I think this will go well in the voting.
I can't tell if it's black or like a really, really, really dark brown.
Well,
I do know he does.
I'm sorry, I keep interrupting.
No. Go ahead.
In those like entry forms we got from the Clink Room site, the black it's kind of dull, and I always use like a separate black and put 95% opacity and then color the hat.
Okay.
But he probably just used the regular black from there. I think it's supposed to be black. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I hope it's black because I know historically he doesn't really like black threading. So if you're gonna go with this demon, you gotta have black and not brown. But yeah, it's a cool piece. The picture itself almost like suggests that it's like almost like a snail like silhouette almost. I know he didn't like mean to, but like for me, I'm looking at it from far, it almost looks like a shape of a snail almost.
Yeah, I understand. I see that now.
Yeah, I think it's
now
just the helmet, the way the helmet kind of goes off. But you know, it's still a cool piece. Speed Demon by Clifton. Everyone likes a good skull. So moving forward, Raphael with Warhorse, another Armor Week entrant. What are your thoughts here?
So like the moments ago we had that armadillo, and I said like those three lines for shadows wouldn't work well because it's too small. But in this case, it works awesome. I think it would really
on a bigger spot. Right?
It would make the armor pop even more, and I think it's dope. Like the horse is awesome, and it's sometimes so difficult to draw a good horse. So I always have to appreciate good design. I mean, Raphael always does a great job. As I said, I'm a big fan. So I wouldn't change much about this one. It's cool. It's straightforward. Like people understand what's going on, and maybe I would just like use the gray outline and merge it into the neck at the bottom. So like the neck merges with the crown better, so it doesn't like end abruptly like that. But it's just a minor thing, nitpicking.
Yeah, it's such a cool piece. You know, he kind of mixing two things that he's really good at. So he's really good at like drawing and showing textures. You see it a lot like in his like crystals or gemstones or animal designs in that fashion, and he has his like realistic nailed. So like this horse, if you were to just subtract the armor, is drawn so cool and so well. The silhouette seems really familiar. I think there's like a minor league team that did a Copa kind of theme hat that was kind of similar, like an iron horse. I think it was a Charlotte Knights, but so it is familiar, which is cool. yeah, no real notes. I love the colorway. You know, this like black with like this kind of Panama tan, kind of wheat color, gray under. Um, Solid piece, man. Just
Yeah.
a really good entry to Armor Week. So good job, Rafael. Number 10, we got Stand Tall, Point X Co. And Bushel of Awesome got together for this giraffe logo. What are your thoughts?
Well, first, I think interesting colors for the hat. I'm usually not so eager to experiment with those because I usually mess up.
Yeah, it's like earth tones almost. Yeah,
Yeah, uh, green with brown. Not the biggest fan, but yeah, I mean, the design again. I'll be honest, kind of reminds me of AI design. But then again, if it looks good, do people even mind if it's AI? I know
yeah,
it's like a big thing amongst artists, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people use it in some way, shape, or form. They're just either like I sometimes just test it out to see how would computer imagine what I imagine, and it can give you some ideas and all. But sometimes people just use it too much. I mean, too big percentage of design is made already by AI. And again, I'm not saying I'm 100% sure it's AI. I'm just saying it reminds me of AI. Just a
yeah,
personal feeling doesn't mean I'm right, but I know how I see it, and I see something that reminds me of stuff that I see AI makes, uh, which I think people usually recognize. But other than that, yeah, giraffe looks dope. Kind of reminds me of Wayne's style, something like he would draw. But then again, those like the black parts on the neck kind of look like shadow, and it feels like it has like that part of her neck dent inside. I don't know if you see it, especially if it's um, emphasized with those highlights, like the yellow highlights, and kind of feels like the whole neck is like bee's hive. The how you call that? Like like it's a hole, but it's not completely hole, but it's like a shallow on inside.
yeah.
But I like the background. And what do you think?
So I have a couple thoughts. So like the really like hard circle. I almost wish he would do stuff to kind of break that circle. I mean, obviously the giraffe head breaks it at the top, but like small things you could do is to kind of extend it, maybe have the leaves of the
Mhm.
trees or like the branches or even the clouds kind of break through a little bit. So it's not just like a rough circle, like boom,
Yeah,
circle,
yeah.
you know. Um, I think where it comes across as like potentially AI is the extra textures of all the spots on 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 the giraffe.
Yeah,
If you
could
look
be.
up like a giraffe, like each one's patterns is completely different. It feels like a lot of these spots are like forced into the space, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
I see what you're saying.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
then that, go ahead. Yeah.
sorry, I just wanted
No,
to
no,
say
no,
like
no.
maybe that's like the trait of AI design, the human eye sees, but I couldn't like define it. What makes design? What tells me the design is AI? But
Yeah,
I go with the feeling, and I'm just saying it doesn't mean it is. It just
yeah,
reminds me of something AI would make.
yeah. I would say kind of the things like the alarm bells that go off for me. That's like, hey, is this AI? Would be like the over texturizing of stuff, like adding
Mhm.
textures that don't need to be there. So I'll use this one as an example. So we got the two horns, right? So in the horns, he's got like a color at the top that's like kind of like an orangish, and then he's got like blotches that are on top of like that kind of, I would say, skin color or the fur color
Yeah,
of the giraffe, but then it doesn't really match because then he's got like a darker color near the eyebrow and then a completely different white like a highlighter color. So I think those are the things that make you kind of wonder and pause. And then you have like the weight of the neck. He almost if you recover the face of the giraffe, you would almost guessed that would be a dragon head. You know, like it's like the instead of it being like a soft fur, it almost looks like it's like either like crocodile skin or like dragon skin, because he's got like the little, instead of it being like a flowy hair, it's more of
Yeah,
like dragon scales. So I think like that, those kind of things, again,
yeah,
not saying it's AI, but it gives it like the AI feel, because this is like
yeah,
what a computer thinks a giraffe would look like almost. You know what I mean?
yeah. I agree. I agree. I completely agree. And like this part on the giraffe cheek kind of
Mhm.
has too much shadows again.
Yeah, way too
And,
much textures
yeah, and it feels like a
colors.
water, like somehow feels like a water to me, like the ocean foam.
Yeah.
Close when it's close to the shore, that like that pattern. That's what I see, but doesn't mean everyone else does. But it's just too many colors and too close to each other. So if it goes through, it's gonna need some simplifying again.
Yeah. I almost feel like the weight of his head is too small. Almost looks like a deer head on a dragon neck, as opposed to a
Giraffe.
giraffe. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. But I do like the colors, like this kind of earthy rust with brown and kind of rifle green. Um and yeah, stand tall with
yep.
Point Exco. Number 11. Oops, there's no 11. All right, we'll fix that later. But number
Yeah.
12, Airdrop by Adam. We kind of have this rhino. Not quite Armor Week, I don't think, but animal. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
I mean, it's not the theme design. It's not mandatory, right? Again.
Hmm.
But yeah, the design itself. Not sure about the purple crown. Not sure people would like that. But I appreciate that he at least did like a crown in different color, and he didn't just add like a stroke around the design uh, to put it on the darker background,
Yeah,
which is also legit. Like the design allows it because it's more horizontal than it's tall, so he could, he wanted to. But yeah, I like his the way he implements like shadows and highlights. You can see here on the rhino's horn, you see shadow and highlight right next to it. So there's nothing in between that would make embroidery difficult.
hmm
And that's what we were saying before for those for armadillo and the giraffe. Too many colors, too much stuff going on could make it difficult to embroider. But this one is cool. I like the way the head looks. Not sure if those are wings. Probably are wings because it's airdrop.
yeah,
But that's the only thing I don't like. Like the whole wing kind of looks too rough. Like it's almost part of his neck, his skin,
yeah,
like scale. And that's the only thing I don't like. Otherwise, the head is awesome, and shadows and highlights, I like those.
yeah. It's kind of cool. It almost looks like a bull, almost wearing like an armored shield on, like like how like the purple. You almost imagine that being like the skin color, and then that kind of gray he has on it was almost the armor part to it.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's an interesting piece. I don't really understand the concept too much. Airdrop, but I don't know why like a rhino would be involved, but it looks cool. Um the
probably
wing is a
crypto.
it's
I'm
sorry.
sorry to interrupt again. It's probably airdrop is in crypto world like a
Ah,
regular thing to say. So maybe Rhino has something to do with it.
yeah, that's cool.
That's
That's cool
all
then.
I recognize.
Yeah. The wing is a little bit stiff for my likings, but
Yeah,
it's a cool piece. I don't love the colorway, but I do appreciate that he's trying something different, kind of like this sparkling grape with a highlighter yellow. But yeah, good to see Adam back nonetheless. Good
yeah.
job, Adam. Number no, now I'm just skipping numbers. What is going on? Hold on. Number 14 is Kongboy. We will fix this later. But Heather with Kongboy.
So yeah, I probably stayed away from Arcade Week because of the pixelated designs. I'm not the biggest fan. and I just didn't want. I refused to do it. So I'm like, yeah, let's not do that. But when it's done properly, it looks cool. So maybe I would just ditch these like buttons below and keep the Kong and the screen. Again, I had the situation when I was doing the portrait.
Portrait,
At first it was square, like a frame, and then you said it's difficult to embroider like a straight lines like that, and that it wouldn't embroider well. So then I switched to oval shape, which did better. And same thing here. Like the screen is obviously rectangular, but again, not sure if that would embroider correctly. It's kind of too tall, and the design is cool. I'm just talking about like the positioning. Maybe I would just ditch the screen completely, ditch the buttons, and instead of a gray crown, I would use a green crown and pretend it's like the whole crown is a screen, and that would be it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, you don't really need the buttons. You don't really need the square holding it all in. I would just make the character the main piece, and then you could do, like you said, either all green hat, or you could do just green panel at the front, and then you can have gray. Yeah. You can keep the black here, and then the gray as the back to kind of just infer like that's the screen. Like anyone who's played on the Game Boy knows that this is Game Boy style, like art. You don't need to make it so obvious, and anyone who's too young to remember just won't get the hook, which is fine, you know. But yeah, it's a cool piece. It's done in that that kind of pixelated art style that anyone who grew up in the 80s 90s knows, like that Game Boy kind of color palette. It's just so iconic and reminiscent of our past. So I would just lean into that. The logo's done real cool. I hope it doesn't run into too much trouble, maybe it being too close to like a Donkey Kong or something like that, but it's still a cool piece for sure. Good job, Heather. Number 15, hopefully. Oh
or
God.
16.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. My numbers are bad today, but Boss Kong, another arcade entry to the fray here. So yeah, shout out to Jake. Declared he would never watch another episode again, but somehow has a arcade entry. So welcome back, Jake. Boss Kong, what are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, again, I'm saying I wanted to avoid doing pixelated designs. For some reason, I'm not the fan. I don't hate how they look. It's just I'm probably staying away because not sure if I would do a good job.
Yeah, it's hard to embroider too with the pixels being so fine.
Yeah, it's difficult to even draw like this. Like, how would your sketch look? You would either have to draw a sketch and then apply some kind of filter,
or just draw squares.
Yeah, I mean the first option was probably the easiest way. Just draw something and then pixelate it.
Yeah,
and then go from there. But yeah, I mean, cool design, cool colors, blue and this bright pink, red. Always bring that vibe of retro arcade, Miami vibe, and I'm a fan. I love those, and who isn't, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up playing GTA Vice City, and that's my favorite game from my childhood. So yeah, a lot of violence there. And yeah, the design is cool. I like the way he used like the blue sun on one side and the red on other. It's just if he used it like right and left, it would probably make more sense to use the red highlight on one side instead of like from the top.
Yeah.
So, and I would probably switch it just to make it interesting. Like on the place where is blue sun, I would use red highlight and vice versa on the other side, just to bring something interesting in the design. But yeah, I mean, mostly like pixelated design, cool stuff. Again, not the biggest fan of myself doing it because I think it's a hassle. So props to other designers who actually took it on.
Yeah, for sure. So disclaimer again, I'm not an artist, so I'll try to critique this with a regular civilian um point of view. For me, like when you go with a pixelated design like this, so he's got all different sizes of these pixels, right? So you see it as really small here, and the bigger ones too. So to really kind of nail down that like a pixelated look, I would almost want to draw it in squares like this big right here. I don't know if you see my cursor.
Yeah,
but keep the pixels like kind of like consistent in size. You're definitely going to lose a lot of detail by doing that, but then it will like translate better, I think, in your final design. You can kind of cut away. You won't really need like this extra bit of it, and it just focus on pixelating the Kong image, I think.
Yeah.
If you kind of see some pixelated designs that I think like Hack Club did a bunch and MLB did a bunch, just see how they did it where the pixel size is all the same, and they took logos that you normally see and pixelized them, and kind of that way you can kind of use like the real finished product and kind of just apply it to the art rather than do it this way, because visually it looks great. It's just the practical part of it. Like, how would they even embroider this? You know, it's almost impossible. So, you know,
it reminds me of the sweater Kong. It also looks like almost borderline pixelated, right?
Exactly. But that sweater Kong had like each square I think was like a similar size, so it came across a lot better. But yeah, I'm with you though. The highlights are a little bit harder on the red, because you got like half red, half blue, but then it's all lit from the top. I would do what you said, just kind of half it and then have the red kind of shine through, or maybe the blue be the darker side. But you know, good to see Jake back. Number 16, Night Driver by Rafael. See, this is more of like what I was talking about. See how each pixel is consistent in size, and you can tell what it is. This reminds me of like a Game Boy game. So kind of he achieved this real like he had this real cool effect. Didn't have to include the buttons like Heather. You know, it's just got the screen. This is obvious what it is. I think he did a great job. What are your thoughts?
Again, maybe there will be issues with the like straight lines, border lines, like a rectangular. It's not the rectangular, but like that shape. But I'm just trying to see if it's possible to do it without it. You know, to just make the whole design meld into the crown. But I mean, awesome way to show pixels and the car. Like, it's so difficult to show the car in this way. So I mean, it's very cool.
This looks like he actually stamped it with like like squares and drew this pixel by pixel. Man, this is a cool piece for sure.
And it can glow in dark. I mean, it's so easy to do it. It's like the whole design can glow, and it would be awesome.
I think he nailed it. Good job, Rafael, and good job nailing the challenge. All right, number 17, Bloodline. Ooh, we got one of yours.
Well, I didn't expect to see this one because I didn't see Clink Room commenting on my post, and I thought, I probably missed the train. But I saw Casey commenting, and I had some hopes. But and I'm glad to see it made it to the crits. Not sure what to expect, honestly. I know there are a lot of lions out there. People are probably sick of lions, but then we didn't have a lion that I remember recently. And this is kind of like a family crest, I like what they did with name. It was Royals, but this time it's Bloodline, so it makes like more emphasis on the family crest thing. And I wanted to see how single color design would perform in the voting again, because Night Vision did well.
Yeah.
And then not doing so great in the shop at the moment, but I kind of liked the way I enjoyed when I designed it, and I liked the simplicity. I wanted to incorporate it in another design, so this came across. I was just doodling and then started drawing and kind of like the crown, and then I just drew a line because why not, you know,
Yeah.
the royalty and all that. So I choose like a golden with green. Also went for something, you know, royal colors. I had like 9 color variations with this one, and this is the moment when I told you I like to experiment. I liked one experimental colors, but then again I thought people wouldn't, so I went with this. And yeah, that's basically it. Hopefully it will do well.
Yeah. Solid piece of work, man. I don't know if it's like completely visual to the people. It feels like you did like a tonal outline, which kind of gives it a little bit more depth when they do the
Yeah,
embroidery.
yeah,
You
yeah,
have
yeah.
like that tonal outline, and then you have the kind of like Vegas gold, kind of tan color, look really be popped out and textured. So I love that for this design. Um, this one is like an unintentional kind of a hook too, because this reminds me almost of like a LeBron James logo. I mean, they call him King James. LeBron, he uses a line all the time.
Let me see that.
Yeah, but his high school colors, he actually went to St. Vincent St. Mary High School, and these are his actually high school colors. So that's why it kind of gave me that like LeBron feeling to it. That's
Uh-huh.
probably purely coincidental, but I mean it fits the thing too. So this is a cool design to me. And my name's Leon. Been called Lion a lot in French class. Kind of like a similar kind of a sounding word. So I'm always down for a good lion hat for sure.
I appreciate it, man. I mean, you look like a man who could rock a cool lion hat. So
For sure. Good one for sure. All right. The next one moving forward is "You Lose" by Sierra Gons. You
before I
lose.
say anything about this one, just wanted to say if you had any critiques, feel free to tell it in my face. No worries.
Yeah.
Um,
Be extra hard.
yeah, it's fine. I mean, that's what this is about, and basically, we won't affect voting tomorrow in any way, probably. So yeah, I mean, we're talking, and if you had any like critique or feedback that isn't that like positive, you could just say it. It's fine. I won't
Mhm.
mind. The next scene you say that, I'm like, I don't want to be here. I'm kidding. So yeah, I mean, Sierra, he combined like pixels and those colors, light blue and light red, uh, in the way that we talked. Like from each side, there's one color,
Mhm.
and he also did a great job with pixels. He kept it simple, and it was probably easier for him as well to work with bigger squares, and it
Yep.
also looks easier to embroider. So he knows what he's doing, and yeah, I mean, great design. I'd probably just do something with the like the handles. They're just standing there, dark blue. I maybe add some highlight or something. Or but it still looks dope. Maybe I would just ditch You Lose as well. Not the biggest fan of any text
Yeah.
on the head, but yeah, great design, man.
Yeah. I like how he kind of made up this like fictional control too, so you don't have to like worry about like copyright or anything like that. He didn't use like a typical Xbox control or a
Yeah,
typical,
yeah.
PlayStation control. You anyone who know like you just see it, and you know it's a controller of some console of some sort. So I do
Exactly.
like how he was smart and kind of thought ahead, because like if you just were to do like a silhouette of a PlayStation controller, it'd be very hard to get
I mean,
past the legal and stuff like that. So
yeah, he knows what he's doing, definitely.
yeah, cool piece. He's kind of got this like these colors you normally see in like 3D, like the different reds and the blues
Yeah.
you use with the 3D glasses to kind of see the textures. So he's all got that kind of theme to it. So yeah, um, like you, I don't know if it needs the you lose like that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe
I think
game
it's
game over. But
probably the part of let's try to make it as arcade as possible.
Yeah.
I kind of got stuck in that loop, and then I just gave up completely on the concept.
Mhm.
Can't remember. I wanted to incorporate the boat because it's arc and it's
Yeah.
arcade,
Yeah.
and to make like an arcade machine, like the cabin of the boat. But then I just kind of gave up. Maybe,
Got too
maybe I
married.
was,
Yeah, sometimes when you get too married to the theme, like it doesn't end up translating well, and it's like,
yeah,
you have to explain it to someone or anything like that. Yeah, definitely, I can see that. But yeah, good entry by Sierra. Always
yeah,
one of the favorites
definitely.
for sure. Number 19, one more try, Josh Voles. Uh, he's got this kind of like demonic arcade guy telling you, one more try.
Yeah,
The plug with the tail is kind of cool too, little feature there.
yeah.
But what are your thoughts here?
Well, Josh is awesome designer, man. I love his designs. Um, I mean, this strikes me because I probably have a gaming addiction, especially in high school.
Yeah.
Man, I was playing League of Legends in like from 7 a.m. till 5 a.m.
Oh my god.
Those are not rookie numbers. Those are addiction numbers. So this one speaks to me. Like this is definitely it. This is the addiction part.
Yeah.
Like just one more, and then you end up not sleeping all day, not eating all
Yeah.
day. So,
Yeah, like, I could get by with 2 hours of sleep. Whatever. Just a little longer. Yeah.
high school, so you're feeling like Wolverine and have energy and all. Now I would just probably die. So yeah, I mean, great design. Nothing much to say. I mean, flames are also cool.
Yep.
He like filled up that space in a great way. I think this is the only one that had like arcade machine, right?
Arcade machine, yeah.
Yeah, and I expected more designs like that with the arcade machine. So yeah,
Yeah. At least he did it
great
in like
job.
a different kind of way too. It's like a character within the game kind of coming out.
Yeah,
Not your typical like, just like a arcade machine. I do love the tail,
yeah,
like
that's
the
great.
devil
Like,
tail turning into a plug. That's just such a cool little detail. Yeah, no notes, man. This is awesome, man. Good job, Vols. Um, Number 20, Guardian Spirit. Sierra is back again. Another Jaguar um, kind of piece. What are your thoughts here?
well, the background are those like pyramids of Pisa, right?
Uh, not Giza. Kind of
Uh,
like the Mexican Mesoam ones.
Machu Picchu, right?
Machu Picchu, yeah, that kind of style.
Yeah, those like a stairs pyramids, right?
Hmm.
Kind of reminds me of pixelated art. So he did find a way to include it into this
Yeah,
design. I'm kidding. Yeah, obviously, like the culture theme of uh, something he did already many times. He always finds new way to represent it. I don't know even how he has so many ideas to draw the same concept from like different angles. So great job on that. Um, Not many people are capable of like, uh, using the same like the inspiration for design to come up so many different designs. So yeah, I mean, awesome work. Not particularly fan of those eyes. They kind of look sad. I mean, I understand he's like probably hunting or something, and he's trying to keep it low, but I'll probably just make it more aggressive because that's what I usually do with my designs. I always have those angry eyes and all. So yeah, or those eyes would probably even I would probably make them bigger, like the yellow part,
hmm
or ditch it completely and try to see how it looks. I mean, sometimes when design doesn't have like a specified eyes, like the color look more mysterious. And not sure it would work in this case. I would just definitely test it to see if it would look better. Because if you remember, I had with Todd, I had a collaboration. We had like a Black Tiger coming out of the bushes.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that because it's similar pose. It's like stalking, and I had like it just head and in circles, and those like the plants foliage had hidden some parts and helped me out to hide some stuff and to make it look more like, you know, he's stalking something. And in this case, the jaguar is out in the open and, you know, kind of defeats the purpose of stalking.
Yeah.
You know, he's not hiding behind anything, but again, it's design. And, you know, I would just make different eyes. They kind of look sad. That's all.
Yeah. Maybe add like a little snarl or something. Maybe a little bit of teeth.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I just
again,
feel with like the spots, it's almost so busy, and then you have like so many clouds within that kind of like sun area. I feel like you either need to simplify the background to just have him kind of stand out more, and then the green grass on the teal is almost like not needed in a way. Yeah, and then he's got the silhouettes of the kind of the structures there. Yeah, the colorway is cool. It's like Jacksonville Jaguars kind of color with the teal
yeah.
and the browns. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe a little bit of more simplification is needed. Maybe play with the shadows a little bit. Maybe make one of the legs more in shadow.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right about the spots. Actually, like the they're dark, and then they have like a shadow on them, which also makes it look like it's a dent in the jaguar's body instead of just the like the pattern of the fur, right?
Yeah. It almost seems like you're looking at like a dirty lion almost, like a lion that's covered in mud or something, as opposed
Yeah.
to like a jaguar. I don't know how I would fix that. But yeah, like Sierra's always solid, for sure. All right, so we found the missing crits that somehow I forgot. So we're gonna get number 11, Avocado Hands by John Viver. Is a really cool kind of like almost like an animator character style artist, but he has avocado hands. PSA, that is not how you slice an avocado. But what are your thoughts here?
Great design. Again, just wanted to say my mic died, so you might hear me a little quieter, but I'll try to yell. Great design from the start. I think he has a good future in the Clink Room. First, concept wise, it's weird, but it's cool. So it's something people would probably vote well. And he probably did the same thing I did when I posted like first or second time for Clink. He used the same color for the UV and the brim, which, you know, he could play around with that, put yellow or gray or whatever. So I think if it goes through, it's definitely going to be changed. But the design itself, it's cool. I like it. Colors are cool as well. And it kind of gives me the old tattoos vibe for some reason.
Yeah, like the praying hands.
Yeah, so, and those like a shining lines, they also remind me of those old tattoos, like retro style, which is always cool. I appreciate those. I like those. So yeah, what do you think?
My first initial thought is number one, ouch. But number two, yeah, it's a cool piece. So he's kind of transitioning from like the style he's used to, which is like super sketchy, cartoony style, and kind of playing with the textures. So it is a good attempt because a lot of this stuff is kind of simplified down, but you almost lose a lot of like the textures almost. So a lot of it is flat. So he is going to need to play around with that style just to kind of nail it. But yeah, it's got the tattoo vibes. And one thing I started to notice with Clink Room hats is like 97% of them are always two-tone hats. I almost wish a lot like this is the issue too. So like when you have such a limited color palette, you tend to end up using multiple colors on your hats. That way you can kind of show separation. But I almost feel like there's like a real lack of monochrome, like monotone hats, like one color hats. Not so much the logos, but like just having it just be this yellow color, I think would do better. But I don't know how well yellow hats really like really vote, but I feel like this kind of design either there's so many colors in the logo that I feel like the hat would do better as just a mono hat, whether it's the all purple or the all yellow. So
Yeah, I agree.
My one thing with it. And then he's gonna need to learn how to play with the dimensions. So again, we talked about it earlier. 2.5 by 6 is your rule of thumb. He's got the bottom of the leaf kind of passing that bottom etch line. You're not going to be able to stitch that low on a hat, and then the top of the hat is very close to the eyelet. You're not going to be able to stitch that close to the eyelet either. So tilting it might hurt it because of the knife. So I don't know what you would do, but just know that you're almost coloring outside the lines, so to speak. The purple's cool. Makes it kind of seem like it's like a Kong hand as opposed to just like a regular human hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting piece. I'm kind of curious what the heck it means. But yeah, it's got like a tattoo vibe, which is cool. I want to see more from him. Like, it'd be interesting to see because just judging off the Instagram page, like you guys definitely should give him a follow. I'm gonna follow him right now, actually.
Especially in this style, good stuff.
Yeah.
And I would probably just make the design smaller. I mean, it's simple enough that it wouldn't make much difference. It wouldn't hurt it to get smaller. Still, everything is clear what's going on. So, no need to stretch it that much, but it's fine. I think this is first submission, right?
It looks like it. I don't see any other ones on the page.
Great job. I would probably go for green crown just because I think it would look better compared to yellow.
Yeah.
But I mean, colors are prone to change. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you see it all the time from crits to final product. But yeah, just a really cool kind of sketch artist, animator almost. Just going through the page, man. Awesome stuff. So can't wait to see more. Good job, John. And then the other one that we missed was Matt Bell's Clink 8-bit hit. Another one to the arcade challenge. So Matt Bell, what do you think of this?
Yeah, another pixelated art. I figured there will be a lot of those, and I mean it makes sense, right? Not sure I understand why is eye hidden like that. Do you have any idea?
It's almost like that character in like Space Invaders almost. So it's just like he instead of an eye, it's just like a character. Like
feels like something exploded, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's kind of like the theme of it almost looks like a character almost too, or even an explosion in like a space game or something.
Also, I mean, if people recognize it, it's cool. I mean, I didn't, but I'm not that much into like arcade and all that stuff, so I'm not that familiar with that culture. So if people understand it, it's cool. I mean, it's classical Clink hat, but with a twist. So it's I mean, smart. It's smart to use it and just like make it arcade themed, just like what I did with Kong basically for the armor week. I just took Kong and gave it helmet and like a scar and all. But I appreciate it, man. But it didn't go through. But it's fine. It is what it is. It's for sale. So guys, check it out.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It reads as Clink to me, but I mean, if you're not familiar, it might look like Clunk. But I think Clink is just dying for like another like really good, like word mark hat.
Yeah.
I think we're ready for it too. So letter forms don't always do the best, but that word mark does really well. So
yeah, I think it would do great embroidered like this. It's like basically you would have, if you collect like Clink letter marks, you would have this one for sure. It's a must.
Yeah.
And colors, and this is the, sorry I interrupted you again. We talked about the making the crown, the screen and all like before, and Matt did just that. He just like put it bright green on the black. The crown acts like a screen, so that's also cool. I mean, it's simple, but I think it should do very well.
Yeah, and another thing too, I was talking earlier about just taking a look at like some finished pieces, like pixel pieces. So I might as well just show you what I was talking about too. I was just thinking about that. So 1 second here. So Hack Club did. I think they kind of made it famous. I mean, other stores have done pixelated designs too, but like just to see like the finish kind of thing here, so you guys can kind of get an idea of what I was talking about. But like just to have the weights of all the squares be kind of the same, I think like really kind of emphasizes the pixel. See how like it's almost they're just consistent as opposed to having different size squares. It just gives it that like that cool pixelated look. So just for you guys to see. Yeah, and like you mentioned, it reminds me of like that knit. I mean, knitting is almost very similar. They're building stuff and designs with just squares. So yeah, just to kind of show you guys some finished examples of like logos that you normally would see and you're so used to, but in pixel form, I think will kind of help you. And I think Matt Bell did that beautifully with that last example. But yeah, just each square is its own thing,
Yeah, and that's exactly. It reminded me of what I forgot to say about pixels when we had other design there. It's supposed to make the design simpler, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because in the games, when you see something, it's not too complicated, it's simple. So if you use too small and inconsistent sizes of pixel, it can just complicate design needlessly.
Yeah.
And the point is to make it more simple, just like on those old screens that couldn't like handle
like
number of
Game Boys and stuff.
pixels,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So
But yeah, man. Thank you again, and we didn't miss any now, so we'll feel better about it. So now we're gonna cut to the challenge of the week. Peace. All right, and then moving on, challenge of the week. So this was decreed by royal decree by Casey, spring week, happening this week. So get your spring designs in. Not so much like Easter, so much because I think the time to do Easter is a little bit gone. But yeah, full disclosure, the images you see here are completely AI generated, just made for communication purposes. But yeah, that's the spring. We got the bloom brawler, kind of like the like a almost like a boxing glove in a bouquet. We got mother goose there with her little chickadees, and then at the bottom, kind of like a what's it called, cherry bomb kind of thing. So like a cherry blossom kind of exploding in almost like a fireworks kind of thing there. So just some ideas to kind of get your creative juices flowing. So spring week happening next week. And one side note, so I don't know how familiar you guys are with the San Diego Padres. So they had a City Connect done a couple years ago, and they kind of hoarded the color clear mint. So clear mint is available now that they have taken that color out of their color palette. So you guys are free to use a clear mint color now as a fabric. So that's similar to like this kind of green here that you see. Just look it up. So if you search up clear mint 5950, you'll see that fabric is now unlocked for clinkers to use again. So clear mint is back, and I included kind of like the pastel-y typical kind of like colors you see in the spring, Easter kind of color palette. So just some ideas to get your creative juices flowing, and Milos, you have a couple days in advance to work on this stuff before anyone else. But yeah, spring
Yeah.
week next week.
I didn't want to say anything about it. I just wanted to be sneaky, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm probably gonna tackle this one. Not sure about the cherry blossom. I think many people would just stumble upon Sakuranami and be like, okay, this, I don't know if I can make it any different than this, you know. I mean, I'm looking from my perspective.
Do you know what a cherry bomb is though?
It's like the cherry tree in the.
No. So cherry bomb is like almost like a firework. Hold on, let me pull it up for you.
Oh,
So
thank you.
there's a good pun for you. So cherry bomb, they look like these. You would have seen them a lot in like the 90s and stuff. Hold on. So like little. Look, I mean, I don't know how. I mean, this is the 90s, but I don't know how safe it was. But like, you would light these things on fire and they would explode. So they're called cherry bombs.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So what's the point? Like they explode in your mouth, like with flavors and all?
No. They would actually blow up. Like you would light them up and they would
So
blow
don't
up.
do those.
Yeah. Like people would light them up and throw them into toilets and really fuck up your pipes and stuff. This is the kind of fun we had in the 90s before the internet, you know?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
But like
So
in the contact with water, they explode, or you just like light them up and throw them away like a firecracker.
yeah, it's like a firecracker. But I think in like The Simpsons, Bart Simpson lit one on fire, threw it in the thing, or I don't know. We saw it in movies and stuff like that. But yeah, this was like a thing, cherry bombs. So that was like my kind of idea to have it like a pun with the cherry blossom. So like the
Oh,
blossom is like kind of like, it's blossoming and exploding kind of like a cherry. Kind of have a tree that's exploding almost like fireworks. Cherry
Yeah.
blossom. But yeah, cherry bomb. I don't know.
This looks cool. Like the AI did a great job on this one. I mean, it's fun to see like colors that are kind of exploding. It looks like watercolors or like splashed. And not the biggest fan of explosions in the way of drawing them, because I had an idea to it was mind blown, something like that, and then I wanted to make the brain explode or something, but it was so bad, and since then I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this. So I'll probably go with something else. But yeah.
You got a couple days. You got a couple days in advance. And also advance notice on the clear mint being available as a color again. So that's a cool little tidbit that Casey wanted to make sure that she shared with you guys. I really appreciate your time, man. I mean, we were filming close to 2 hours. Always a pleasure having you on and your unique perspective. And yeah, like you said earlier, like I hope anyone who hears the critiques, doesn't take it personal. We're just trying to help and give you guys another fresh set of eyes for your designs. And tell us where we're wrong. Tell us where you think we're wrong. I mean, we're cool. We can handle it. But yeah, any last words before we part ways?
Well, always a pleasure to be your guest. Always have fun. I'm sorry I keep interrupting you.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry.
And
it's
again,
delay. It's how long it takes.
Yeah, exactly. Delay
audio
keeps me
travel
off, and then basically, I mean, I'm not a terrible person, so
no, I wouldn't say you are.
Yeah, what you said about feedback and all, again, nothing personal. I assume we're all adults; we can take it, right? And no bad blood between anybody. I hope nobody needs drama and all. I mean, it's a little bit competitive to get your design in the shop, and some people kind of, try many things and then end up copying somebody else's concepts or something like that. But it's all part of the game. So yeah, I mean, if you're offended by a feedback we give here, then you're probably offended by somebody stealing your concept even more. So, but again, I often work on one design and then I see it with the same eyes, quote unquote, for so long, and then I kind of lose the perspective of if it looks good or not. And I have my fiance who's there to tell me this looks like shit, or this is cool, or this will make it, or this won't, and she's 90% right. So, well, it hurts when I'm like, I think this looks awesome, and then I show her, and she's like, no, that's terrible. And but better to hear it there than to put it out there and then feel the rage of votes. It's never pleasant to see your design under like 30%, under 35.
It's always interesting to see, like, sometimes the votes just like you just picture like, this one is gonna make it, and it bombs, and then the one that could potentially be like a throwaway, just like, yeah, whatever, we'll do it, and then that one does well. It's just like, it's hard to know,
Same thing happened with night vision. I thought that design will do great in the shop, and I was a bit disappointed to see it's not doing that great, because I thought, that's and that's what I said earlier. When I design, I think about the concept, about the audience, who's gonna like it, who's not. And then I thought, this design has a lot of audience. Like, it's masculine, it's called military, people who served, or generally masculine guys who like those kind of stuff, buy it, or gamers, Call of Duty and all. But turns out it's not doing that well as I expected. It is what it is.
It's got a couple weeks to recover, so we'll make sure we'll give it an extra push when the last call comes up.
You guys heard it now, so go and pre-order.
Go pre-order it. But yeah, man, pleasure having you as always. Welcome back, guests. Anytime you want to come back. But for Milos and Leon, we out of here. Peace.
Eternal damnation. You're at the end of the world as you know it, my dude. Time is up and you out of mood, so what will you do? It's the BP mercenaries not here to...
Brought to you by VFTV.